Hello, and welcome to the Front Office Podcast. I am your host, Marcus Cameron. The show is sponsored by Tees and Trees Clothing. Tees and Trees is where we stand on business. Hello, Front Office Podcast fam. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's well. Hope everybody's healthy. In South Carolina, man, you know, if you're watching from any other places, the weather's crazy. It's 15 degrees one day and it's 75 the next. So, try to make sure everybody's getting that sea moss in and all the other vitamins to help fight whatever bullshit is going on out here, man. It's a crazy time. But quick check-in, man. We don't have any football news. Of course, the Super Bowl's not till next Sunday, so we won't really be getting into any football things unless something pops up in the timeline, which the media always finds something to talk about during Super Bowl week. So we'll see how that goes. But today, February 3rd, man, we want to catch up on the NBA a little bit. There's been a lot of things going on, a lot of high-scoring games, no defense, supposedly. We'll get into that. Lakers with a big win in Boston. Philly, Joel Embiid hurt. I'm not going to try to get into that one too much, but we'll talk about it. So let's just start with the obvious. All-Star weekend coming up. All the All-Star selections have been made. One of them, well, not even one of them, but a lot of snubs. A lot of snubs, depending on who you like in the NBA. Trae Young was left out. De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis. Both of them are on a team that's actually fifth in the West, and the Lakers have two All-Stars in Anthony Davis and LeBron James, and they're currently, I think, 10th in the West. So that's very interesting. Usually doesn't work that way. I think Derek White didn't make the All-Star team from Boston. I thought that was a bit of a snub. Not as big as the Trae snub, though. Trae Young, to me, he's a really good player. He's a really good player. Offensively, controls the game, understands how to run offense. He's one of those guys that'll give you 30 and 14 or 30 and 11 as far as assists are concerned. Range is out of this world. I think he has a high basketball IQ. I think what brings Trae down, though, is just, defensively, he just doesn't do anything for you. Defensively. He's not a big guy, but he's not. I think if he had to improve anywhere, that's where it has to be. I'm not saying he's terrible on defense, but he's just a mismatch waiting to happen with, these NBA guards. There's not a lot of small guards. You got Jalen Brunson in New York. We'll give Jalen his flowers because he's been playing out his mind. But I just think with him, I think that's the knock on him is his defense, and he definitely, in my opinion, should have been on the All-Star team. I'm not sure who I would take off, but, when a guy's putting up that kind of numbers, it's kind of crazy. Derek White, I thought, tailed off a little bit. He had that streak of games where he was averaging almost 25, 26 points a game. Then he had his baby, and then he kind of dropped off, and then he's kind of been up and down since then, and I think that's why he didn't make the All-Star. I'm not extremely upset about that one. I think he'll get there when the Boston Celtics actually solidify what they have going on and win more consistently. Like I said, they just dropped the game to the Lakers. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about that Lakers and Boston game. I should have recorded it. Lord, I should have recorded it. I called it at work. I said, that's an upset game. And, nobody disagreed. It was just when you're a team that has been playing as well as the Boston Celtics have, and then you're supposedly having the star power come to town, and then you find out the day of, LeBron and AD ain't playing, I can see how you could lack off. You know what I mean? How you could slack off and just be like, But like I've said all year, the Lakers have good pieces. They don't necessarily need a trade. I don't love D'Angelo Russell. I don't love his game. I know he's talented. I know he can do a lot of things. I think he had 14 assists and 21 points in that Boston game, showing that he can really distribute the ball. I think he's out of there regardless. He is a good player, but he does make some erratic decisions sometimes, and just in the NBA, like it just stands out when you're playing with a LeBron and an AD. It does. I think Pat Bev was on his podcast talking about, yeah, they blame me, they blame Russ, and we on two of the best teams in the NBA. I think that was the media more so blaming them. I mean, but again, he was in the locker room. Like if they were literally telling him, yeah, it's your fault, I'd feel like he feels. But if you're just playing on the media and just keeping shit going just because of your podcast, like, bro, nobody blamed you, but it's just different playing with people of that caliber. And I already know what you're saying. Well, he plays with the MVP. Yeah, it's just Joel, though. It's just Joel. It's just Joel Embiid. He hasn't won a championship yet. Yes, he's won an MVP. No championship. Matter of fact, not even the Eastern Conference Finals. If I'm correct. No. I'm gonna double check that. somebody who knows for sure, put it in the comments. But even if he has, that's not a situation in which it's the same thing. Again, if they told him that directly and that's the vibe that he felt, I feel Pat Bev. I like the players being able to speak their minds. Only part about it is some of y'all are just still stuck in playing mode. Like Paul Pierce is still stuck in playing mode, without a doubt. He completely thinks that he can go out here and compete with these guys. And if you don't, and you just saying goofy shit on TV just to get clicks and likes, then I just don't respect it. But if you do, it is what it is. Like the whole comment about Udonis Haslam's Heat jersey being retired. Given, I'm just saying, bro, like that shit was completely unnecessary. You know what I mean? Like that's a huge honor for a role player like that and a guy who's been with that organization his entire career. He's got championships, got him with Shaq, got him with Braun and D Wade. Instrumental part in both of those runs. I don't think that was given. I think that was earned. You know what I mean? But that's my opinion. I think Paul Pierce just has a super high opinion of himself, which he is one of the greatest small forwards to ever play the game of basketball. He really is. But, yeah, when you get that kind of guy who can't turn off that competitive drive, nobody's as good as him. So he's not going to really be honest in takes. If he feels like he's better than this guy, oh, he's trash. Oh, he's trash. Well, nah, that's not really your job anymore. But, I digress on that. Let's talk about the standings. Still got Boston at the top in the East. We still got, I believe it's Minnesota now at the top in the West. Oklahoma City's right behind them. And then you got the Clippers, who are only a game behind, in third place. The Knicks, Jalen Brunson, man. Let's give Jalen Brunson some credit. Let's give him his flowers. He has been having an amazing year. Randall goes down, picks up his level of scoring even more. It's good to see the Knicks sign a guard or make a big free agency signing, and it works out for them. I think they've won like 9 straight. I want to say they're second or third in the East right now. Might be second. And if they are and they can keep up that pace, that's good for New York. My shout out to my man Kenneth Pompey. I work with him at Verizon, and he's won him, Carlos Derrick, my man Chewy. Shout out to all the Knicks fans, man. You know what I mean? Like y'all definitely should be excited about some things. It's a good season so far. I'm just me personally. I gotta play devil's advocate, and Tom Thibodeau. It's just a lot of guys go down on his watch. I'm not saying he plays guys too much. I'm just saying a lot of guys go down on your watch. It's proven. Be smart here. You know what I mean? Make sure you don't run these guys out before they get to the playoffs. But if the Knicks can finish that high, that's good for them. Philly has dropped all the way to 5. Now Joel Embiid has been out, which is a big deal. Big controversy about him missing and playing games. If you hurt, don't play. That's just my opinion on it, period. If you're hurt or you got the potential of getting hurt, don't play. It's easy for me to make that decision because I don't have millions of dollars on the line. Like these guys with the all NBA shit and all-star selections and MVPs, all that shit means more money in a lot of cases in their contracts. So when you have a guy who can stand to make, I don't know, the difference between 20 and 30 million if I make an all NBA team like Tyrese Halliburton. Yeah, I mean, if the organization is backing you, they're gonna, give you limited minutes, and if you want to go out there and do it, cool. But in some cases, you shouldn't be doing that. Joel was pushing because he, if you miss a certain amount of games, you can't be considered for MVP, and maybe he was just pushing because he wanted to win. But somebody in that organization has got to be like, all right, well, enough of the bullshit. Just sit it out, whatever. I don't agree with Kendrick Perkins talking about shut him down for the rest of the year. That shit is asinine. That's a goofy ass idea, and I actually like Kendrick Perkins, but bro, you've been saying some real goofy shit lately, and you should just pull it back. Like, everybody's locked in, you know what I mean? We watch you. You got enough likes and shit. Like, just stop saying goofy shit. The comment about Joe Mazzulla and his bird brain, and man, listen, this is why I'm not, like famous or in the NBA, because my attitude does not allow for it. And I'm not a tough guy. It's a way to criticize a person without disrespecting a person, if that makes any sense. Like, you don't have to, especially in this business. You could say, his moves have been questionable. It's nothing for him to get mad at. You know what I mean? I mean, he's probably going to feel some type of way, but it's an honest opinion. It's an honest take. But the problem is it don't get all the likes. It don't get all the viral shit that y'all looking for. So that's why you make these goofy comments. Now, if Joe Mazzulla was to see you in public and want that smoke, now he's the bad guy. You know what I mean? Like, he's the bad guy because you got on national TV and said that this man has a bird brain, basically. I don't get it. The same thing with Cam and May show. Which, shout out to Cam and Mace, man. They got a great show. It's super entertaining. And Cam was given the story of meeting or seeing Ben Simmons at the Nets game. Cam Harlem in New York. Of course, he's gonna go to Barclays. And running into him and how it wasn't good vibes. Nigga, it ain't good vibes, bro. Like, you been clowning this nigga in front of millions of people. Why would it be fucking good vibes? These niggas, man. But, again, shout out to Cam and Mace, man. It's a very entertaining show, man. But that's just the world we're in right now, where everybody has a platform. I don't have millions of subscribers. I hope to get there one day, but I have to be careful what I say. I might see somebody and it's like, bro, like, if I don't have a problem with anybody. I disagree with certain shit, you know what I mean? But I don't have a problem with pretty much anyone personally, you know what I mean? Like, my opinion is my opinion. That's that's the reason for the podcast. By the way, which we are upgrading. As you can see, we're in a different location. This is actually really the front office. It's my garage, and I've been kind of slowly getting everything together. I got my sign moved in. I'm working on my artwork on the walls. Just got to upgrade the cameras, and we're gonna step it up in 2024, man. We're trying just small baby steps, man, consistent. All right. But in the West Coast, like I said, OKC and Minnesota are at the top of that thing, with the Clippers up top 3. Denver, I think, is 4. And Phoenix, I think, is in that top 6. The West is crazy. The West has been crazy for like the last 10 years, honestly. It's been a crapshoot, especially with the Warriors being as good as they were. OKC. Now you got Minnesota, and OKC's back in the race. Phoenix has always been a contender. Even when CP3 was there, matter of fact, they got to the finals. So they definitely were a contender out there. So the West is going to be interesting. I still like Denver. I still think Denver is the better team. I still think they have the better formula. Phoenix is looking scary, though. They're looking really scary. I watched them maybe like the last 3 games. I think they played Brooklyn and then Miami. And I forget who they played before Miami. But that big 3 is looking good. They have the same problem, to me, that the Celtics have, which is their brand of basketball when it's going to be crunch time and you need a bucket. Very capable players all over the court. Phoenix has Kevin Durant is a bucket anytime, any situation, whatever. Devin Booker, Bradley Beal. We all know this about these guys, but the reason why everybody's like they need a point guard is because you got to have a guy who can consistently make the game easier for those guys. You got 3 options, and he should be dictating what's going on out there. And when they're dictating it, if a shooter's a shooter, he might miss his first 10. You know, he might make the next 10. He might miss his first 5 and make the next 8. But he's making a decision to go and shoot and do whatever, instead of a point guard recognizing and saying, okay, maybe I got to go this way. And that guy can't get into his feelings. And that's a lot of the shit that you see in the NBA, which is why people have a problem with it, because it's more controlled in college. In college, you're really trying to play within the system. I mean, now with the NIL shit, it's a little crazy, but for the most part, it's more controlled. You know, they always say the only person that could hold Michael Jordan under 20 points a game is Dean Smith, which is true. I mean, he was playing in the system. He couldn't really explode and do whatever he wanted to on the floor because they had a good team. They had a good system. So I think the brand of basketball matters, especially during playoff time. You really see who plays a good brand of basketball. I think Denver has the best brand. I think when the Lakers are shooting well, they play a really good brand of basketball. The only thing I don't like is at this age, LeBron getting the ball and just, if you're not going to make a quick move, get off of it. You know what I'm saying? But again, his IQ is way past mine. They gotta plan on what they want to do, and I'm fine with that. I think the Lakers are always going to be a problem, a threat. Yeah, they're 10th in the West. We know how the situation goes. I mean, they were just like this in the same place last year and got swept in the Western Conference Finals, but did get to the Western Conference Finals. Beat a lot of teams that people were like, oh, yeah, Memphis is going to be this. Oh, yeah, and Minnesota, man, I'm telling you, they're going to be this. And New Orleans and all that bullshit, man. At the end of the day, star power matters, and when you got guys like that, you're a threat. It'll be interesting to see what they do with the trade, but if it's Murray, I think I'm okay with it, depending on what you give up. Because I think defensively, they need that help right now. Defensively, they need that help. AD is a great anchor. The other guys aren't bad defenders, but they struggle against elite guards, and this is the National Basketball Association. Every point guard is elite, just about. Especially the ones you got to go through to get to where you want to go. Jamal Murray, James Harden, De'Aaron Fox, Steph Curry. Who else is out there in that West that's competing? Oh, OKC. You don't have, I don't think, a super elite point guard, but then you got Shea or Shy. So, I mean, you know, the West is a gauntlet of great players, and that's, as a team, that to me, that's their downfalls. When they play against a really good point guard, they have no chance. A lot of times, they have no chance. So, it'll be interesting to see what they do. Like I said, man, just want to go do a quick check-in, man. Good game tonight. Lakers, Knicks, man. Y'all check it out, man. Tell me what you think. I'll put a post on Facebook. I like the Lakers tonight, actually. Even if LeBron and AD don't play, I think the Lakers found something, and we'll see if it carries over. But the Knicks are without Randall, and if we talking just guard play, yeah, Brunson is better than any guard on the Lakers, but they got more guards. They got more guards, and they got more bodies. So we'll see how it plays out, man. Front Office Podcast, man. I appreciate y'all checking in. Like, subscribe, share. If you're rocking with me,
Front Office Podcast is sponsored by Tees and Trees Clothing.
Tees and Trees is where we stand on business.